Good morning, everybody. I'm back. My name is Will. If you don't know me, if you do know me, then you probably know that. Goodness, that sun is like right in my eyes. Let me move that. Oh, good morning, Maddie. You might know that I've been doing this practice session for every day since I think Friday. That's when I started doing it. So I missed 2 days. One of them I called off as a holiday, but yesterday I just missed for the sake of it. I apologize for that. I won't do that or I shouldn't say that. I'm going to try not to do that again. It doesn't look like I'm looking at the screen. That's strange. Oh well. Yeah, I'm coming back today. So I think I want to make up something as like if I don't practice a certain day, then I have to do something. So today, my something is going to be, I'm going to show you how I warm up. It's different. Goodness gracious, that sun. It's different every time, but I guess it's still worth showing you like what I might do in house. What I might do in case of a warm up. Let's see if I can turn this way. The opposite. I don't like that either. That's a little better. To show you kind of how I would warm up. Every saxophone I play is a little bit different, so I warm up differently. I'm sorry, we're just gonna keep spinning until the sun's out my eyes. How's that? It's a little better. So yeah, what we're gonna do is I'm gonna play a few notes, and I'll walk you through kind of what I'm thinking when I warm up. Can I like lower, maybe lower it a little bit? It's a little better. Sorry, these are not cut at all. So, these are the raw, unedited videos because I like that. So, yeah, do that. I'm not going to change this, so you're going to have to deal with all this. But when I start an instrument, first off, I got to know which one I'm playing. Obviously, I'm playing my tenor because I need to work on my tenor. But each saxophone I play has a problem. It doesn't matter what saxophone you buy, every single one of them will have a quirk. It might be a different quirk. If you buy two of the same one, they might have the same one. Sometimes it's as simple as a sticky key, and then sometimes one of your notes just will not play. Like, no matter what you do, it just doesn't come out right. And that's a pretty common thing, more or less. I play a lot of used instruments. Problems like these are more common in used instruments, but are possible in newer ones. If you're looking for an instrument with less quirks in it, get a new instrument, and get a good one. Don't get a Chinese one. But if you're looking for something you can get used to, then any good used horn is perfectly fine. Like I said before, this is the Yamaha. Yamahas are good. Some cons are good. There are plenty more, but I'm not going to list them all here because I do have time, but I don't feel like it. So when I warm up, I play like a small scale just to kind of see what. Goodness gracious, Maddie, you done met me already. It's the dog in the background. Morning. And it allows me to get my embouchure kind of set up. So. Alright, what you just heard me do, it's a fun trick, but it's also a good fundamental to warm up on if you're a more advanced player, or even just someone like in high school or something. What that's called is overtones. I missed one, but basically, overtones is you have a starting note. That's the note I just played. So that's your starting note. Overtones allow you to play a bunch of notes above that in a series. It's a very specific series. The first interval is an octave, which just means it's the same note, but higher. Like that. Then the next one, you go to what's called a fifth above the note, which means in that scale you would count up to the fifth note of the scale. So if my bottom note is a B flat, then I'd be counting B flat, C, D, E flat, and then it would be F. I'm going to try and hit that. It's really hard on tenor for some reason. And then you go up one more, and you go to this to the first note, but 2 times up instead of 1. I had to cheat to get that one out, but you can keep going above that, and that's kind of the fundamentals of what's called altissimo, which is just every time you hear a sax solo in a song, if they start like wailing way up in the clouds and it's like almost make your head hurts, the notes are so high, that's altissimo. So every saxophone can do it. Some saxophones are easier than others. I can personally not do altissimo on tenor. I can do it on alto kind of, and I can do it on baritone kind of. And then last time I played soprano, I was able to do it, but I haven't played soprano in like almost a year now, so I can't tell you if I can do that or not. So I'll do that, and it helps make sure my embouchure is fine. Then what you can do is you can go up and down that, and if you can get it controlled, then you're in the right place. I more often than not fail it, but you know. You might have heard me hum into the instrument. It actually does kind of help if you hum the note beforehand. If you're a guy like me and you have a kind of low voice, humming in your falsetto is perfectly fine. Ladies out there, y'all could probably just hum that note normally. The bottom note might be the tricky one for you, but you can do the upper note, that's for sure. Yeah, that's one thing I do. And then if I wasn't currently practicing scales, I would probably play my D major scale in thirds, so something like. And I would just stop at the top because I don't need to go down. I do, but not right now. So that's kind of how I warm up. It's a quick warm up just to get my embouchure in place, my air in place, and then my fingers in place. I'll do all of that in about 30 seconds to a minute. It's not a long warm up. It's just long enough for me to put air through the instrument. The other thing I do is when I play an instrument, like I said, every instrument is different. They all have quirks. This one, you might have noticed in the videos, every time I play the low D, it has like a 50% chance of speaking. If I focus really hard, I can get it, but I have to focus. So the idea is I would just naturally try and play that every time. Goodness gracious, the sun is out. This is why I do it an hour earlier usually. I apologize. I'm just going to look like a demon for the entire video. But, yeah, so that is how I warm up. Everyone's warm up is different. Some people do long tones. Some people don't warm up. Some people just play a bunch of scales until they feel fine. Some people play their favorite piece, like favorite slow piece. Whatever works for you. I found that if I want to warm up quickly, that's what I do. That's what I do before the videos usually. It's what I do before concerts. It's what I do before band, anything like that. But if I'm by myself, I might play a piece or something, like a little warm-up piece. I'm trying to think what one would be, but I'm struggling to think of one I would play right now. I don't know. A good warm-up piece for me right now would be like the Bach Cello Suite, because I just got done learning that. I don't have any of it memorized though, and ideally you would play a piece so much that you have it memorized. So like I could play the first few bars of the first minuet. I think it would be weird because tenor's in a different key than alto, and it's already in a different key than the normal key. But it would be like. Like something like that. I would just do something like that, and then make sure my vibrato's going right, and all that kind of stuff. If I'm currently working on a piece, I might not even do that. I might just play an easy section of my piece that I'm working on. Currently not working on one right now, but so I can't really give an example. But back in my senior year of high school, if y'all recall, I did that piece memorized. It was the Creston Sonata movements 2 and 3. I would warm up on the second movement, and then I would work mainly on the third movement. The second movement gave me enough time to work on my artistry and my embouchure and my vibrato, which is the, if you're curious, I don't do it when I practice scales because I don't have a reason to. But I work on all that and for about 10 minutes, and then I go on to the faster stuff. So yeah, that's how I warm up usually. You don't have to do that. Of course, like I said, everyone is different. You should warm up. If you don't warm up, God's not going to hit you with a lightning bolt. So do whatever you need. All right, so I guess now I should tell you what I'm working on. We're still working on the C series. I know y'all are absolutely delighted by that. Though, the numbers would suggest y'all actually do enjoy listening to those, because I think I have 28 views on the last video. Now, that was 3 days ago, but if you divide that by 3, that's 9 views, and that's more than I usually get, which is 0. So, I'll take it. And yeah, I have, I think, 180 monthly views now. I'm going to keep updating on this, because I'm actually very proud of it. Y'all are awesome. I keep forgetting to check my weight. I'm sorry, I lied to you when I said I was going to do that. Last time I checked, it was 307. I went down to 305, but I didn't stay there because Mom made a bunch of oatmeal cookies for Father's Day, the day I took off, which I know wasn't actually Father's Day, but about close enough. We had church on Father's Day, so we had to wait. Gmail. So yeah, I think I might be back down to 305 again today, but no guarantees. I think I'm gonna call off the weight thing. If I tell you my weight, fine, but I'm not gonna promise you that I'm gonna do it. Just like I'm not gonna promise I'm gonna do this every day. I'm gonna try to. It takes a lot of mental effort too, and the longer I think about it, the less I want to do it. But yeah. You be careful as a musician. Just don't think about it. Just go do it. Don't try to justify it. Just go do it. And if it runs out of time, you run out of time. If I cut this short today, it's because right now it's already 8 o'clock. And if that sounds strange to you, just remember that I'm like on a reverse schedule. I'm a vampire. So kind of. So it'd be 8 p.m. for a normal person, but it's 8 a.m. for me because I wake up at 6 a.m. or 6 p.m. So for my night shift job. So when I say that it's late and then the sun is coming up, that's late. So just making sure y'all remember. Is there something else I needed to say? I feel like there was. Oh, I guess I should introduce the dog over there. I'm not going to point the camera at her because she's sitting right in front of my neighbor's house, and that's rude. But her name is Maddie. She is, I think, a border collie. I'm not very good with dogs, but I think she's a border collie. She's old, if I recall. She has a habit and a hobby of chasing cars up and down the driveway. So every night before work and every time I come back, I get Maddie chomping at my tires. She has yet to be run over, so we don't really bother her about it. Yeah, that was who was barking at me. She's actually a very friendly dog from what I've heard. And she didn't attack me when I suddenly closed that video the other day. So that wasn't me recovering from a dog bite, I promise you. That was just, I needed to turn off the video. So, no, what she did, I didn't show it to you because it was funny. She ran up about halfway to me, stood there and barked at me a couple times, and just like gave me a weird face, like, why are you not running? She ran a little closer, kept barking, ran a little closer, kept barking, turned around, peed, and then ran back home. So, she's funny. But yeah. I was going to introduce you to my dogs today because I was going to do a 2-hour special as my punishment for not practicing yesterday, but I decided it's already kind of late, and so I'm not going to do that. Instead, I was going to show you how I warmed up. I might do a 2-hour special one day, but not today, especially because I'm tired and I'm sleepy. So when we get back into the swing of college, I'd start doing stuff like that, but right now I need to make sure I'm as ship shape as I can be for work, because that's kind of hard. So it's not like terribly difficult. It's just like a lot of physical effort. Sometimes you'd be surprised what the heaviest things in a grocery store are. It's like spaghetti sauce, beans, sauce, any sauce, barbecue specifically, but mayonnaise is heavy. I don't mean like one jar of mayonnaise. When I have to carry a case, it's like 12. So it's like 12 jars of mayonnaise. All those big like gallon jugs of water, oil, all those come in like four each cases. Sometimes 6. Jokers are heavy. Now I'm a little weak, of course, but if you don't go to the gym and then you do an overnight stocking job, it might help. It is kind of heavy. So yeah, just thought y'all should know. That's like the heaviest thing in a store is the sauces and the oil. Anything liquid. Liquids are heavy. Solids are easy. Trees are attacking me. The tree is attacking. It's just one big tree. It's not that one. There's one right here. Anyway, they're trying to get me. All right, I'll start practicing now. The trees are telling me to shut up. All right, so we're gonna do the arpeggios, and if we can get to it, the chromatic scale. Chromatic scale shouldn't take long. The rest of it will probably be hard. I can't hear that. There we go. So I broke it down in the last video. I have to remember that. I have to think through these things sometimes, because sometimes I'll forget what all I have to play when I do these, because sometimes it's short, sometimes it's not. This one's not a short one. Okay. Reads off center. I really should check these things before the video. Y'all don't seem to mind too much. Alright. Turn that down. Alright. Yeah. This is called a major 7th arpeggio, if you're curious. Really a major 7th chord, but we break it up into what's called an arpeggio, because I can't play chords. I can, but they're not very good. They're not guitar. What? The 9 chord. was a little closer to the stand, I could probably hear it. Oh, I put y'all next to the mission. Darn. Yeah. I was really hoping someone sent me money just then. It was Venmo telling me about my transaction history. Fun fact about my Venmo, it only has 5 cents right now. If someone wants a nickel, you don't get one. I need the nickel. Now I can have 2 nickels. I need more nickels. I need more money. Anyway. Alright, that's better already. I'm going to tell you my favorite and least favorite arpeggios. Not to play, just to listen to in a minute. If I had to rank them, this one's probably second place for listen to, third place to play. You like my saxophone, Maddie? Hi. I think she was asleep when I just woke her up. My bad. I said Maddie, and she's like, my bad. Go back to sleep. I'm sorry. Trying to hit that E is weird. There we go. Oh, I had it and I messed up. Darn. Whatever. Oh, it's hot out here. It's like I'm already getting sweaty. It's humid. Why did I live in Florida? It sucks here. It's okay here. It's fine. It's whatever. I don't think I've been to a worse state to live in, but I'm sure one day. Probably not. Florida's terrible. I don't know why everybody and their brother decides to move to Florida. Anyone that lives in Florida wants to move out of Florida. Like, yeah. I don't know many people that just want to stay here, like, for the weather, you know? Whoa. What? not going to worry about the note speaking for now. We'll come back to it. I've got plenty of time to work on that note anyway. At least one more. Excuse me. It's so hot. Need like a fan or something. Goodness gracious, get out of the sky. Don't do that. I don't think y'all know the consequences of the sun coming out of the sky. Y'all should look them up. Sun signs and rainbows. Yeah. It's fun. Oh my goodness, dude. There's nothing worse than this neck strap when it's hot outside, because it just makes your neck sweat and it's itchy all the time. It's awful. It's a log. I thought that was a turd. Oh. What temperature is it outside? It can't be. It cannot be as hot as I think it is right now. It is 18. Oh my goodness. It is not 78 outside. Feels like 83 is more accurate. What is the humidity? Is 87%. Don't come to Florida. If you're here, leave. It's awful. It's not that bad. A lot of cool things to do in Florida. Just weather sucks. I think I heard a person over there. I don't see a person over there. We're all right. Mandy's still giving me the cold look. Yeah. She's not happy with me. You'll like it eventually. I'll sound better in like a month or two. Yeah. This is what practicing is like. You take a break for a moment, you come back and you do it perfectly one time, and then you won't be able to do it again for the rest of your session. If you're getting your first good run through days before your concert, you're not going to have a good concert. That's why you got to practice a couple months in advance. Don't do that to yourself. I mean, have a bad concert, not practice. You need to practice. I've had bad concerts before where they are terrible. They're bad. Imagine that. There's a fly. on my screen. It's not on my screen yet, but it might be. I might get a fly debut. Give it a name or something. I don't know. It'll never come back. It'll probably die. What was it? Oh yeah. I think just because of that perfect run, I'm gonna take it up. I'm gonna do everything to 100 today. Tomorrow, if I come back, which I hope I do. Oh look, there's the fly. If I come back, I think I'm gonna do the entire C series. I'm gonna do 5 minutes each. I think. No, hang on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Something like 16 exercises. So I give 5 minutes to the scales, 2 minutes to the arpeggios, and we'll go from there. I'm going to try to go. She's standing up now. She's barking at something else. At the sky, it would seem. Maddie is a very entertaining dog. Yeah. I think she's barking at the neighbor's dog, but I can't even see the neighbor's dog through all the trees. So, she can hear it too, but, you know, that's funny. Get off my phone. You're not allowed to be on my phone. Get off my sax phone. Also, not allowed to be on my phone. Yeah, she's turned the other way and barking at something. I think it's a dog. Oh well. Yeah, there's like a little yipping dog down there. Yeah, that was my Southern. You're gonna hear that. It's like a tiny dog. It's like a corgi-sized dog down there yapping. No, don't know about what though. It couldn't possibly be me, right? I mean, that would just be really silly, wouldn't it? It's about me. The dog is barking at me. Anyway. I'm sorry about that. That was I don't know why I did that. Y'all just gonna have to live with that. Have fun with that. Also, if my eyes are looking up, I think my camera is sitting at the top of my screen. I don't really know how iPad cameras work now that I'm thinking about it. Like, I've got the selfie mode on because I don't feel like propping it up and trying to line up the actual camera. So otherwise, I would just do that. But the camera will either be at the top of the screen or at the... I'm pointing at the bottom of the screen, but it looks like right in the middle. So actually, that might be where the camera is. I've been looking up at the top the whole time thinking the camera was there. That's a good test. Learn something every day. Camera's on the bottom. Good to know. All right. There we go. Now I'm looking at you. Nope. Y'all heard that too, right? It might have been that chicken. That sounded like a person though. I might be insane. I hear my name off in the distance like all the time. Like at least once a day. And it's clear. Like I can hear it. It's like, well. It's like, and you would think that I would think that's the voice of God. But one, it doesn't say anything else. And two, it's like 50% of the time a woman. And God ain't a woman. He's the Father. So, I really could not tell you. Oh, that one sounded like, hey! So, that could be a person yelling at me, but I don't see one, so I'm going to keep practicing. Screw them. There's that perfect one again. I love practicing. It's so fun. It's so good for your mental health and your everything. It's great. I hate it. I hate it so much. It's awful. Anyway. Yeah, see, that's what I was talking about the other day. You don't know how fast your fingers are until they're playing faster than you're supposed to. Like that. I'm not doing that. That's all my fingers. I ain't even trying that. That's a bad habit. So I should practice slower. I'm not gonna though. We've been practicing the same scale for 20 minutes now. This is practicing, folks. In fact, I'm gonna stop practicing that one. We're gonna do a different one. We're gonna start it a little bit faster than we did the other one because I'm trying to keep this in an hour because I have to sleep. Yeah. We're gonna do, this is the dominant 7 arpeggio as opposed to the major 7 arpeggio. You can hear the difference, don't worry. Who turned the sun up? Everybody pray right now and say, God, can you please turn the sun down for a moment? That was only half a joke. The sun is like out today. Like, I'd point you right at it, but I don't want to do that to you. It's already reflecting off of me pretty good, so I'm good. Alright, so I guess now is a good time to explain what the heck a dominant is. A dominant, what I just played there, that is, it's a leading chord. So in music, you got 3 kinds of chords. I think I explained this to y'all. It might have just been to a friend though. You have tonic chords, you have predominant chords, some call them subdominant chords. I like predominant because it makes more sense. And then there's dominant chords. Tonic chords are like your 1 chord, so like your home chord, that major arpeggio we played a few days ago. That one. Also the one I was just playing, that is kind of a tonic chord. It's just more jazzy than the first one I played. So it's not a very common chord in classical music, but it is very common in jazz. In fact, it's probably more common than just a regular tonic triad. A triad means 3 notes. So you have your first note, which is the 1 of your scale. Then you have the 3, which is the 3rd of your scale. And then you have the 5 of your scale, which is called the 5th. And you stack them all on top of each other to get, on a piano you get a chord, but because I can't do that, you just have to hear an arpeggio. So that is a 1, that is a tonic. There are other tonic chords, but they are far more rare. And we'll go over an example at some point, but I don't need to do that right now. You have your subdominant chord, which acts like a chord between your tonic and your dominant chord. It just leads to the dominant, is what that pretty much means, predominant. It's in the name, it's awesome. So that would be like building a chord off of the 4th note in your scale. So it would be your 4th note, your 6th note, and then I told you that a scale only has 7 notes, and the 8th one becomes the 1st note, so you can either call this the 8th note of the scale or the 1st note of the scale. and that builds your 4 chord. The more strong predominant chord is the 2 chord. This is what you will probably hear instead of the 4 chord, but both are pretty common. 2 would be building on the second of your note, so then the 4th note of your scale, and then the 6th note of your scale. That is the 2 chord, and that is the last predominant until 5, and then 5 is your dominant chord. There are 2, but 5 is the main one. 5 is built off the 5th note of your scale, so I don't need to explain that to you, but it's 5, 7, and then you would think 9, but there's not 9 zones in the scale. There's really only 7. You might hear it called a 9th in jazz, but really it is the 2nd note of the scale. So that one I was practicing a minute ago, where does that X note come in? So this is 1. Now we're switching keys, by the way. This is 1 now. Then we have 4. And then we have 2. And then we have the 5 chord, which is going to be. So from there, we can add another note to the top of it. Now, if we add the next diatonic note in the scale, that would be the 4th note of the scale. So in C, which is what we've been doing, is but because we're playing this arpeggio right now, that is the 5 chord of the key of F. But that last note, that is a 7th. A 7th is when you stack. If you have your bottom note, then the note that is 7 notes up in a key is called the 7th. It doesn't matter if the note is high or low, or raised and lowered, depending on the key or the chord you happen to use, but it is called a 7th. So your major 7 is, it's the 7th note of your scale. Your dominant 7th is going to be the 4th of whatever key you're playing in, or if you're just going off of the bottom note of your arpeggio, it is going to be the flat 7th note. So it'll be, and then you might notice that when you're hearing it, you might want it to go somewhere. That is because I didn't really explain this, but you have 2 leading tones. I said the first one was 7, so, and then it goes up. Well, there's a leading tone that goes down, and it's that first note of the arpeggio. It was that last note of the 7th arpeggio, the dominant 7th. So it's, and it goes down to what would be the 3rd note of the scale. So if I was playing in the key of C, the dominant chord would be on a G, and so you would go G, B, D. The dominant would be F, and then F would lead down a half step to E. And then what's nice about that chord is if you play it on a piano, you'll really get to see it, but the C or the B in that chord, but the F goes down, so you actually get to see those 2 notes come together. That's why that chord sounds so cool. And that's why it's used so often. It's a good leading chord. I'll talk a little bit more about the function of notes in a minute when we get to the diminished arpeggios. But that is the idea: is they're supposed to lead inward and resolve. It's supposed to be a resolution. You've got like the like that. So I didn't know I could do that. That's a new one. But that's the idea: is it's supposed to lead. so it would lead to 1. I did an exercise, I think the other day in a video, where I went. That's me playing the major triad. And then I start on the second note of the 7th chord, and I go. And that's just a good exercise to know for all your keys. So if I did it in the key of, what's a really terrible key I could do this in? E flat. Let's do this in the key of my E flat. So concert D flat for all you musicians out there. I'm gonna go. Like that. I can do an even worse one. Key of F sharp for me. So E for all of you musicians at home. But you get the idea. It is a leading chord to 1. I can talk more about what else it can do, but I'm not going to because I've talked long enough and I'm just really procrastinating on actual practicing. So I'm gonna play it some more now. That's what I'm gonna do. Oh, look, the bugs are singing with me. Also the birds, but the bugs are singing with me now. Yeah. Look at that. We're singing together. We're all singing our C dominant 7 chords. Whew. I think. I'm trying to guess what note the bird was playing, by the way. Or singing. I just said playing. Well, the note the bird was singing, I should say. Anyway. There we go. I'll move up now. We're going to stop at the same place we did last time, if this isn't taking too long. I'm getting the notes, I'm just not getting the high note to come out. It sucks. So, yeah, this is more a testament to how much water I'm actually drinking during practice. But still not really as much as I drink. The issue is because this water is being kept in my pocket, my incredible, I can't really show you my pocket. Well, if I back it far enough, yeah, I can. Shove a whole water bottle in my pocket. You wanna know what's crazy? There's already car keys in there. So yeah. Why was that good? Never mind. I didn't mean that. Did I say something? Something I forgot to mention earlier when I was talking about the harmonics of an instrument. If you've ever been curious how brass players can play all their notes with 3 buttons, maybe 4, or slide in case of trombones, it's because of that. Their instruments are designed so you actually start playing the harmonics on like the 2nd or 3rd level rather than on the 1st. Also, for whatever reason, it's a little bit easier for them to actually get that high in partials. They call them partials. When they get that high, it's something that saxophonists have to work a lot longer at than trumpets usually. But both get pretty neat results. Every trumpet solo you ever heard has a little bit of screaming in it, just so you know. One day I'm going to go over some advanced techniques just so y'all can learn them. That'll be a short video, but I'll go over altissimo, growling, slap tonguing, anything else I can think of. I know how to circular breathe, but I've never actually figured out how to do it. You know what I mean? Like, I know the steps and I know what everyone says to do, but I just haven't figured it out yet. I might try and figure it out before that video. If not, I'll tell you what I've been told and y'all can try it at home. I'm gonna do that probably when I get back in college. It gives me enough time to maybe actually learn those things. What I was doing that minute ago, that really high note though. That high note that's coming out there, that's altissimo. That's on every saxophone, woodwind really, you can make certain fingerings that for whatever reason squeak in a controlled manner and can shoot you up really high. It's recommended to actually do altissimo using overtones, but for anyone that wants to know what those notes sound like and also just wants something a little more consistent than overtones, you get altissimo fingerings. So the one I was just playing, that's A flat. The easiest one, as far as I'm aware, is C. Power, they call it power C. Yeah, like that. So, that one you hear a lot. Yeah. That one's probably the easiest to do. The hardest to do is going to be the first few. So, yeah, have fun with that. It's B flat, not B natural. When I figure out how to edit videos, I'm gonna subtitle all my videos so you can figure out what I'm saying. Yeah, I'm sure y'all probably got it, but some of y'all, I met a few people that literally just cannot understand what I'm saying if I have anything in my mouth, so I learned how to talk with a reed in my mouth. That's pretty fun. See, I can play it fine. I just mess up like that. I'm going to move on, even though that's not the speed I said I was going to be. I still got 3 more arpeggios to do on a chromatic scale, so we're going to make those quick. I'm just going to start them here, actually. The first one is the minor 7 arpeggio. It's like the dominant 7, but you lower the 3rd. So you get kind of the funky chord. It's a very blues thing to use. Kind of like the blues scale. It's kind of like that, but you take out the blue note and one of the other notes, and then you get the. Like that. I did that though. And that gives you. That's a pretty fun chord to have. You're going to see that chord all the stinking time in jazz. You are never not going to see that chord in jazz. It is everywhere. You are not going to escape it. If your song's in a minor key, it's going to have a minor 7 chord in it. It's just everywhere. You can use it like a dominant, but typically minor dominants are far weaker than major dominants are. So you actually import the major dominant into a minor key. So I would go, in this case, like that. Like that. So it's kind of fun. Little quirk of music is that you do that. It's very common to do. Strangely, I cannot think of any modern popular songs that do that, but they're everywhere. Go find one. I probably shouldn't mention this on this channel for all the little children watching. Don't go watch the video. But it is, or listen to the music for that matter. It's, there's this YouTube group called The Boys. You might have heard of them. And they, like, at this point, I think it's like 3 years ago, they released a song called Sick. And in the song, it does a little vamp over and over again. It's the one of, it's in concert C major, so it's, and then it does, no, that's not it. It does something, but it does the minor 1, the minor 4, and then it does a major 5 back to 1. For whatever reason, that's the only song I can think of where it does that. It's called Sick, lowercase s if you're curious. It's a pretty long song, so I don't know, sit down or something. Go eat mac and cheese or something, I don't know. It's a pretty good one. It's a hip-hop song, so if you don't like that, then don't go listen to it. For whatever reason, it's the only song that comes to mind that does it clearly. You can hear it. It's on YouTube. I think it's on Spotify, if I recall. But, yeah. If you're under the age of 13, I would not recommend listening to that song. It's kind of disturbing. Anyway. I don't know why I listen to it, but it's a good song, so it kind of slaps. Alright, well, that's good enough. We're gonna do, that's pretty much the speed I want to be at anyway. We're gonna do the half diminished arpeggio. So I won't talk about the function of the other dominant chord until we get to the fully diminished 7 chord. The fully diminished chord, I mean. But this is my favorite of all time to play and to listen to, for that matter. This is also one I have a strange example for if you want another good example of the chord in use. If you go to the Final Fantasy III, and I'm not talking about the US Final Fantasy III, I'm talking about the Japanese Final Fantasy III, because they're different. I think the track is called Crystal Hall, Crystal Room, something like that. But the whole track is just it's a half diminished 7 chord that just like goes up and down. That's all it does. It's like that's the whole track. But it's all half diminished chords. So give that one a shot. It's on Spotify. It's definitely on YouTube somewhere. I don't know why that's the only one I can think of, but it is. So deal with it. It's kind of interesting. There's a really large jump in the chord that like you don't really see up in the top, but it's there. Oh, almost didn't have that. Yeah. And then finally the half diminished chord, or no, the fully diminished chord. This is where I'll talk about the dominant chord again. I said there were two dominant chords. Technically the half diminished chord is a dominant chord. Kind of. But the real second dominant chord is the diminished triad or the diminished 7 chord, which is exactly what it sounds like. It is when you take all, so the diminished chord we played yesterday, it was that one, and you add the last note into that gap. So you have C, E flat, G flat, or F sharp. And then, in order to get that last note, you have to lower the lowered 7th again, so you get a double flat 7th, or just the 6th of the scale. So A. Really a B double flat, but we're going to call it A. And you're probably wondering why I don't go down. It's because I don't have a low A. I only go down to B flat. So. That's a fun chord to use because I've said it before, there are two tritones in there. One is between C and F sharp or G flat. The other one is between E flat and B double flat A. So you get like it's a gnarly. It's like the most dissonant sound you can get in a diatonic setting without just using like two notes that are next to each other. So you get the like you get that kind of sound. It's really fun to play with, and you'll probably hear it a lot in like horror soundtracks or video game soundtracks, jazz, of course. Rock uses it a lot, actually. Not as a chord necessarily, but they improv over it a lot because of that dissonance. Rock likes to be dark and edgy, so dissonance makes things dark and edgy. So dissonance is really when just two notes like rub against each other, kind of gross. There are only a few dissonant intervals. You have that tritone, that's one. The second dissonant interval, which you've actually heard me play today already, is called the minor second, or, fun fact, the major 7th. That's right. You've heard me do that already. It was in this. That's called a minor second if they're close to each other, and a major 7th if they're far apart. So if it was, that would be a major 7th, but it was close like this. That's a minor second, or minor second. Those are dissonant because the pitches are so close to each other that you get like a weird wobbling sound. Let me show you what that sounds like because it's gross. Y'all aren't gonna like this, so I'm gonna kind of back away when I do this, make it less awful. So I'm gonna play the top note, and I'm gonna hold the bottom note on my little drone here. You probably didn't like that. I know I didn't. So that's the other dissonant interval. I guess for reference, let me give you the other one, which is the major 7th. Gross. So the reason it works in the major 7th chord, I really don't know why, to be honest, but it sounds nice, so just use it. The last one is strangely, it's a perfect 4th. We don't really know why that's dissonant. It has nothing to do with the waves being close to each other. In fact, if you swap them around, they would be so consonant that they almost sound like nothing. That's called a major fifth. Let me play a major fifth for you. So, that's a major fifth. If you take that note I was playing down, though, you get a perfect, that was a perfect fifth. If you take the note down, you get a perfect fourth. You might have been unsettled by that. If you weren't, okay. I mean, it's not the most unsettling thing, but you might have been like, where's the rest of that chord? That's because, one, that note, if you were on the one triad, would be the fifth of the scale, and therefore would be the dominant. And if you have that note on top of the other one, you actually want it to go down like this. Like that. You want it to go down that fourth note, because it acts like a suspended fourth. So a suspended fourth is when you have the fourth note of the scale above the first note of the scale, and that fourth note is going to go down. It's kind of like in the dominant seven. You have that note wants to go down. It just does. So when you have that fourth, you go, what would it be? It would be, so that would be in that context, it would be, that would be what that is for. It's a very common thing, generally, to hear anyway. Like anywhere you go, you're gonna hear that, because it works. It is a very nice, sound. It is a very pleasant sound. You can also get it in minor keys, but it's less pleasant in my opinion. Like that. And actually that one was kind of a bad example, but so you get let me give you a better example. That one messed me up. As opposed to like that. That's where you would use that. So we don't really know why that works as well as it does, but it sounds nice. And that fourth note kind of wants to lead down by default anyway. So let it go down. You can also fake out a resolution by doing that on the 5 chord. So let's say I'm doing that same chord I was doing a minute ago, the but let's now contextualize it. So we're playing in the key of G now. Like that. You can do a fake out resolution like that. So, or you can do 2 resolutions. So you can go like that. And that's a really fun thing to do. You'll hear that a lot in smooth jazz, which I know probably a lot of y'all don't listen to, but yeah, that's pretty common. That's why that works, is because technically a perfect fourth is a dissonant interval. It's weird. It's not dissonant like the major 7th or the minor 2nd or the tritone was, but it was still dissonant. Like you still felt like you wanted to do something. You didn't know what at the time, but now you know that that's always going to go down. If it goes up, it sounds fine, but it's not as good. That's what's known as a retardation, I know. that is when it goes up instead of down. If it goes up, retardation. If it goes down, that is a suspension. So yeah, that's a very common thing in music, is to do a suspension down to 3. So yeah, I'm gonna turn the metronome back on. We got one more scale to do, and then I'll be out of here for the day. This shouldn't take long. So I've been doing this scale for years now, probably since 9th grade. We had to do it for all state auditions. Oh, maybe not that fast. Okay. So this is the one I do weirdly. I like to practice my chromatic scale in triplets, which just mean groups of 3, instead of in groups of 4, because there are 12 notes in the chromatic scale. And I'm gonna turn this off for a second. I'm gonna attempt to emphasize the 4-note groups and the 3-note groups when I do it. So I'm gonna go. Like that last one's a 2-note with an extra. I don't like that. Now this 3-note version isn't perfect either, but I like it more. You still get that weird hang off note, but you get the C on every 4 grapes, which is nice. It makes it like a bar of 4 with triplets in it instead of a bar of 3 with 16 notes in it. I'll explain that later. Not right now though. It's hot and I'm sleepy and it's been an hour and 15 minutes, so I'm gonna spare you all that. Bug. Stick bug. Look at this. See if I can just my iPad so y'all can see it. Look at it. Look at the bug. Y'all see it? The shadow where my music stand is. Look at it. It's a little bug. Don't know what that's supposed to be, but it's a bug. If y'all know what that bug is, down in the comments, let me know. So I said I wouldn't go edit my videos, but it cut off for some reason. So I'm gonna stitch this on the end of it. Y'all saw the bug, so. I'm not doing it wrong, I just can't play it. So I'm gonna call it there. I'm tired, I'm sleepy, and it's hot out here, and I'm sweating to death. So thank y'all for joining me. Sorry about the random cut in the video. I didn't go home inside and get a lemonade or nothing. I don't have lemonade, I wish I did. But thank y'all for joining me on another day. Once again, so I apologize for the day missed, the 2 days really, but I still only feel bad for one of them. So I hope that y'all have a good day today. Had a good day yesterday. Had a good Father's Day. All the days. I apologize for forgetting Father's Day to any fathers in my audience. So this is my belated Happy Father's Day. I think that was the day I told y'all to go to church. What day is it? It's Wednesday? Yeah, that makes sense. Okay. I was still thinking it's Tuesday, because for me it's still Tuesday, because I woke up on Tuesday night. Night schedules are weird, man. So yeah, I don't think I have anything else to say. Maddie has moved to a different spot in the sand to get out of the sun. She's just laying there now. She's sleeping. Having the time of her life, I'm sure. Brennan, Birdie, my 2 dogs, probably aren't real happy with me right now. Clay's probably awake. That's my younger brother. One of them anyway. I have 2. Mom and Dad are at work. The other little brother's at football practice. If you're curious, I don't remember what position he plays now that I'm thinking about it, but the high school I went to is the high school he's going to now. It's a senior high, so he's really in middle school. But all of the kids at that school were, for whatever reason, they're small. They're like this tall, which I know is about average height, but I'm tall, so I think they're small. They're about this big, and they're all about 140 pounds. Don't know how that works at all. My little brother's about this tall, but he's 160 pounds, so he gets to be one of the heavier roles. I don't think he's a lineman, but I do think he's close. I'm going to ask him, and then I'm going to forget. And I'm not going to be able to tell y'all, and I'm going to forget how we had this conversation. But he does play football. I don't remember what position. My other brother did play football, but he got so annoyed with the team that he quit. He liked football, but he just couldn't handle playing anymore with the team, and I understand it. The school I went to was not a good one. For all of you Keystone alumni or students, I apologize. But if y'all went there, y'all probably understand or go there. So I'm going to be honest. A lot of the programs there didn't seem to care a whole lot about the students themselves, and were really just there to turn a profit or for publicity purposes. So, which I'm sure is the nature of most schools, but Keystone did a terrible job at hiding it. My time in the band there, I was probably the best player. I don't like saying that because it makes me feel big-headed, but I mean, it's just kind of the truth. But the reason I was the best player is because the band in total wasn't very good, and we didn't do a whole lot. So, I mean, from what I could tell, there was not a whole lot of drive to go home and practice. A few students did. I had my fellow drum major actually was one of the few students who I know went home and practiced at least right up until probably senior year, and then she didn't really like band very much after that. But yeah, it's like the older you get in that school, the more you realize what's there to really what's there to supports the students and what's there to earn money. I realized pretty quickly in my high school career that they don't really care about us as much as they care about the money they're earning. So they want that straight A average, and then they want to look nicer. It's a school out in the middle of the woods, so it's not the nicest school you've ever been to. I'm not going to say it was some dump. It was a fine school, I mean, premises-wise. But the moment I realized that the school was out for money was, instead of funding the band, who had like no money, and even the sports, which didn't have very much money, they bought a billboard and put it right in front of the school in the parking lot. Now, they already had one, but they got one of the LED ones that were like really annoying. The ones you see in for like a modern church or something, or like something like that. And they got one of those, and they like barely ever used it. They used it for like one holiday a month, and then maybe birthdays. So, like I guarantee you that, like, I'm pretty sure right now it says something about stuff that happened in May. Like, no one uses it. It's very underused, and that money probably could have been put to something better, if we're being honest. I understand wanting to have a better billboard. I get cosmetics, they do help, but ultimately, if you want to bring people to your school, you got to have programs to put them into that are good. So you got to fund them if you want them to be good. So that was kind of an issue. I'm not going to go into all the issues here because I don't want to make this some soapbox about my school didn't care about me, but I came through it anyway. I don't care. I'm just some fat dude in the middle of the woods playing a saxophone. Like, who cares? Like, you know, like I could go into that in my own time, but there's still people I know going to that school, and if they're watching right now, I'm sorry. If you haven't realized this by now, you probably should. There's a teacher you love, you better love on that teacher, because there aren't many of them in that school that are worth loving, from what I've heard. To any of you going to Keystone right now, when this video posts, if Miss Luce is still there next year, which I think she will be, because you can't replace her. If she's still there next semester and you have the opportunity to take a class with her, if you do not sign up for pre-calculus, you're doing it wrong. She's the best teacher on campus. Just go sign up with her. You'll like it. I promise. She makes math look easy. And I'm a math nerd. I know when math is hard. She made calculus look easy. Right up until like the end, of course, but you know how crazy it is to make calculus look easy? It's stupid. Look at that. Goodness gracious, the sun's out. I'm hot. Dying out here. But yeah. Go don't ask any questions. Don't try and bother any of the administration, because ultimately they're just people too, and they're doing what they think is best for the school. But I mean, at the end of the day, just realize that if you want the best education you can get, you're gonna have to do some legwork. Even if you're only planning on doing music like me, you're still gonna have to do some legwork. Practicing every day is a good start, but you're gonna have to start doing some research. You're gonna have to start playing pieces that you don't think you can play. You might have to start taking charge in the band just to see what that's like. So who knows? One day you might be a teacher. Maybe not even a music teacher. Remember that fellow drum major I was talking about? She's going into elementary education. She's going to be an elementary school teacher. Crazy. So, only French horn player at that whole school for all 4 years. She's going to be an elementary music teacher. Like, crazy. You know? Like, you never know. Just push yourself to do things you weren't going to do. Do something new. It's worth doing. If you aren't in band currently and you've always been curious what it's like to learn an instrument, give it a couple years. Give it a couple years. You're not gonna be Kenny G on day one. You're not gonna be Kenny G in 2 years. You just ain't. It's gonna take time. It takes a lot of time. But I mean, you can fast track it, but you can never be quick. It's a craft. You have to learn it. So like, give it some time. Give it a couple years. Make sure you don't like it. You know, get all the stuff you want out of it before you decide you don't like it, and then move on. It's really that simple. I would really prefer if all of you in my audience at least tried to play an instrument, but I know at the end of the day I can only convince so many of you. So especially with my playing, which y'all might think it's great, but it's not the best, honestly. I have so many issues that I gotta work on. But I'm gonna start at some point. I want to learn jazz standards as part of my practice. I have a little challenge for myself. See, I practice what I preach. I have a little challenge for myself. You saw that video where I did the Black Orpheus solo on Barry. That was a transcribed solo, meaning I took it from someone else. Now, that might not seem so bad, but that's actually rather frowned upon in jazz. For a beginner like me, like on jazz anyway, that's totally fine. You're allowed to do that. I'm just learning jazz now. Like, I've played in a couple jazz bands, but I was never really taught jazz. I was taught, like, jazz articulation, jazz embouchure, jazz sound, jazz style even, but I was never taught how to improvise. So now I'm learning how to do that. I challenged myself to solo in the next Stetson jazz concert at least once. I might even do twice, but I'm definitely aiming for once. And so in order to do that, I'm going to learn how to play and improvise over jazz standards in a giant blue book called E-flat Real Book. I don't have the B-flat Real Book, so it'll have to all be on alto. But until I get the B-flat Real Book, you're just going to have to settle for my alto playing. And I'm going to learn, if nothing else, how to improvise a solo over a piece. There's a wide variety in that book. You have bossa novas, you have regular blues, you have ballads, all of them. Anything you could want. I know all of those were B's. If you didn't notice that until I said it, that's okay too. Put my phone in my pocket before it overheats. But like I want to start doing that probably in a month. The height of my audition period is going to be in about a month, but I'm going to have something to work on. So probably like Fridays, I'll do jazz standards, do like 2 or 3. So I might go over ones that I've already played. I think, so there was one I played, like 2 years ago as one of my audition pieces. It was called On Green Dolphin Street or something like that. I'm going to relearn that one. I'm going to play it with improv. And then while I'm improvising, I can go over what I know, improv wise. So like what chords to use, what scales to use. I know a few things, but I don't really know how to put them into practice, which is why I'm doing it. And then when I get back into college, I'm going to show y'all what that's going to look like in concert. So I'm going to practice the song I'm improvising over every probably Friday, because it's just a good day for jazz, you know. I'm going to do that probably every Friday until the concert, and then I'll decide what to do from there. If I like the format, I'm going to keep doing it. If not, it'll just be regular practice, and then I'll just do improv whenever I want. Yeah, I should not still be out here. It's getting toasty now. Let's check the weather again, because this is how fast the Florida heat gets. So it's going to be like 90 or something. It's not going to be that much higher. Oh, wait, no, it's 78, so it's going to be like, 80. But I think the humidity went up. Oh, it went down. Feels like 87, though. I'm going to take that as a win. So, but I want to start doing that. That won't be soon, because, one, I'm still trying to get a feel for saxophone again, because, you know, being off for a month, I'm actually more accustomed to it than I thought I would be, but I want to give it some time, and I want to practice my scales. Scales, not my skills. I mean, that's a skill, but it's not really what I want. They'll go much faster as time goes on. I'm really just getting used to the format again for each one. It's going to be formatted kind of like this, where it's like almost a whole week of one series, and then I move on. It'll probably get faster as we go. The whole tone scale is going to be pretty much the same for every other scale. The chromatic scale is the same for every scale. There's only 3 different fully diminished chords, stuff like that. There's only a few different augmented chords. I think it's 4. So after a while, those will get a little bit easier as time goes on. But stuff like the scale in thirds only gets more difficult from here. And sometimes we start in the middle of my low range, and sometimes we start right at the bottom, and it makes things harder than it would appear. Yeah, if you're curious, the next series is going to be the F series. Tomorrow when I come back, I'm going to do a full run through of the C series, and then I guess what would be on Friday, I'm going to start the F series. For those of you keeping track at home, for like keys and instruments and stuff, this is my tenor sax. Y'all probably figured that out by now. It's been an hour and a half. Tenor sax is a B-flat pitch instrument, which means when I play C, it's a concert B-flat. So my C scale is a B-flat scale. So my F scale is going to be an E-flat scale. Yeah. So without further ado, I'm going to go inside before I melt like Frosty the Snowman. Thank y'all for joining me. My mouthpiece smells like dog food. That's another warning for y'all marching band people. Rubber mouthpieces, when they get hot, they smell like dog food or something. They smell terrible. Don't there's nothing you can really do about it if you can't afford another mouthpiece, but just be advised.